Hello, my name is Cole from Beast Player Studios, and we're at episode 2. Let's just jump into this shit. You know what we're getting through. We had spoilers abode, we got tons of shit going down. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you don't watch it, go watch it yourself. But if you are one of those people, you know what? I'm not gonna leave anything out of this because this is a huge episode. I'm sorry, but I can't. This episode is such a huge plot dump, and I have to talk about it. So let's start off with it all. By the way, the opening theme is amazing, like I'll say every time. I love it. It gives me chills up my spine, that ending part. So Cinder survives, obviously. We all knew this from the opening. It was kind of spoiled because of the sword shape and everything. So Cinder crawls out of the water from when she fell after she lost her fight from Raven. Oh my god. Yeah, from Yang's mom. And she crawls out and she's like, I can't use my powers. Well, she didn't say that. She kind of like tried to flicker a flame in her hand and it didn't work. So she breaks the wall of where the relic is, which I thought was a little funny because isn't it supposed to be like a really like max prison for this relic and just you could just break the mountain that it's hidden in? Like, really? So she crawls out, she falls on her face again, and then a lady's like, oh, do you need help? And then she sees her creepy ass grim arm and she's like, oh no, and then she looks up and the fire's in her eyes and she takes her clothes. So then we have a flashback to when they're back at that house of pain in volume 4 and 5 that they never left. Volume 5 that they never left, not 4. 4 they were adventuring around to go to Mistral. They're back in Mistral, and they all ask Oz what the relic does, which is really an interesting thing because I guess I never really thought about that. So he's like, oh, it's a lamp of knowledge. It's a relic of knowledge, and you can ask it 3 questions every 100 years. Then Nora freaks out and she's like, should we ask for more wishes? And then it's like, no, they're not wishes. They're just answers to questions. So Ruby's like, we'll protect it. It's all right. Then we flash back to the future. Oh, and also, they couldn't leave it there because Raven dipped. She didn't close the door and let them lock it. And we also find out that we need to head for Argus because of the military. That's their trading point. And they have a huge military there. It's still protected. So that's their only way of getting into Atlas. So they're going to have to go around all of Atlas pretty much just to get to Argus, like by boat. So then we go forward and we have Yang trying to pull her bike out and she's like, first we get into this trouble, then we get into this trouble, now we have to protect a useless old lady. And then she's like, I'm not useless. Well, maybe. And I kind of like her already, little Yoda Katara. So then before that, we cut to Ruby looking around. She finds the relic of knowledge. Then we get to Gang blabbing, and then Yang pretty much confronts Ozpin about the relic attracting Grimm, which they were very mad about. So they talk, and he's pretty much like, I can't trust anybody. It's not because I don't like you. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just my experience. Look at Lionheart said the same thing that they did. Like Yang was like, you can trust us. We will never go back on you. And he's like, Lionheart is a perfect example of why I can't trust you. It's happened to me too many times. I've been hurt too many times, etc. And then he's like, where's the relic? And then Ruby's like, it's right here. And then I don't think we cut right there. He just starts freaking out about stuff. And then we cut back to Cinder, who's in town, and we find out that they're wanted. Every single one that was at in Mistral in the big final attack is wanted. And they're being hunted down, so she's afraid of getting found by police. So she's in disguise, but she can't use her powers to disguise herself just yet, because they're all finicky and weird. So she sees this imprint of a spider on the wall, which I'm guessing they're like info brokers or like an assassin's guild. That's my interpretation. They ain't the Phantom Troop though. Those are the real spiders you gotta be afraid of. If anyone gets what I mean by that, you're a good anime fan. She goes in. She meets this big lady. I don't really remember her name. She kind of just controls the spiders. But then she's like, I want to find these kids, this group, and she's like, give us a week and we'll find them. And I also really like how she had that moment where it's like, I used to be afraid of spiders. Do you want to know what I did? And then Cinder's like, you learned to kill them? And then she's like, no, I learned to use the spiders, make them work for me. And I kind of like that. I feel like the allegory is more, I've always been afraid of criminals until I made them work for me. I think that's what it was supposed to be. That's my assumption. I don't think it was actually supposed to be spiders. So after that, after Cinder walks away, one of the ladies on the side is like, why didn't you just tell her? We already found out. A big guy walked in and asked before, and she's like, well, we don't know if anyone wants to know where she is. At which I'm assuming it's Hazel. Hazel's probably the one that was asking. Because he escaped as well. And he probably wanted to find out where they were heading to. So Hazel's on their track too. Probably looking for Ozpin as well. So, then we cut back to the situation at the train wreckage with Rwby. And Ruby's holding it. And he's like, Rwby, listen to me. Don't do this. And she's like, I thought you believe, or he's like, give it to me. I need that. And she's like, I thought you, what, all that stuff that you said back in like volume 1, 2, and 3. Was that all lies? Like believing in humanity and believing they could persevere and to be trusted, etc. And he's like, that's not what I meant. And then she's like, that honestly, to Rwby, I feel like that totally is like heartbreaking, because she lived by that kind of. She really looked up to Ozpin. Ozpin was the only reason why she got into Beacon so early. She's a prodigy, borderline. Well, silver eyes and all, and she's really talented. So everyone, or then Crow gets in, which kind of made me mad. Everyone turned their blades and weapons to Crow, and I was like, what? All he's done is helped you. Like yeah, he kept secrets like the silver eyes. I want to know what those are. I would honestly rather know what the silver eyes are than what Ozpin's hiding. Because I care about Rwby the most, but whoa. So Rwby turns around and to Jinn, who they summoned, and she's like a genie, like Robin Williams genie. Obviously she's blue. She ain't got no bra, no shirt, no pants, so everything's holding out. Crow, the look that Crow gives to her is amazing. He's like, don't look. And everyone else is looking at it like they're looking at some like god, which is crazy. And then she's like, I am the god, I am the being of knowledge. Ask me anything. I have 2 wishes, or I have 2 answers. Which Ozpin lied about that, which didn't help his situation. Which means there's only 1 question asked before she was put away into the vault. By the way, before in the flashback, Ozpin said all the questions were used up before he locked her away, so he lied. Then Rwby turns around and she's like, and one of the stupidest moments. I get it. Ozpin doesn't want his secrets found out because he doesn't want more anxiety and panic and craziness. But like, they're here to fight for you and this cause, and I feel they deserve to know. That's just my thought, and I think Rwby, being as pure-hearted as she was, because like, I remember during the Oobleck part of Volume 2, yeah, Volume 2, Rwby was never asked why she wanted to be a huntress, ever. And it's because she's just pure of heart. She's like Goku. She's a pure of heart being, and she doesn't really need a reason because she already will. She will do everything that's good for this world no matter what. It was Weiss, Blake, and Yang that had to think about their situation because they were not pure of heart. So I feel like Rwby is going to be, this is going to be a really big leader moment for Rwby, and I hope it is. She has to control the group, all of their rage, and make sure it's good, because I think right now Rwby is doing what's good for the team and not what's good for Ozpin, because I think she's going to start taking point, and Ozpin's going to have to take a back seat, which I want. I want that. I want Rwby to be their leader. So she turns around, asks Jinn, what is Ozpin hiding from us? Ozpin yells, no! And then he dashes forward with his hand out, trying to stop her, and it doesn't work. They go into this white void, and Ruby's like, what? What's going on? But then I find that it's like, Rwby yells Yang, and then Yang yells Blake, and then, wait, no. I think, does she yell Weiss or Blake? Or not Blake, Weiss or Yang? I think she yells Weiss, or, yeah? Because I know Yang yells Blake, and then Weiss yells Rwby, then Blake yells Blake yells Yang, which I thought was really weird because I think you'd have them all yell each other's names, like all four, or all three of each other's names, or like all four of each other's names. But no, it's just one at a time, their favorites, their partner at the beginning of the show, if you want to think about it like that, which they never really used because it was like a four-person thing, always. So, we see a castle erupt in the background, and there was Jinn was pretty much saying there was once a beautiful girl, and then the blonde-haired lady turns around and opens her green eyes, and like her name was Salem. Oh my god. Okay. This is a big bombshell. Because, like, this Zelda-looking ass girl is Salem? This pure-hearted looking girl that looks like she belongs in a Legend of Zelda game is Salem. That's crazy. That is insane. Like, she looks like she could be like a priestess or something. But she's a princess or something, right? And she rules a land. And in the opening, she looks like she's like praying to a statue or something, or like something of like that. I can't remember exactly. But like, oh my god. So all of the Summer Rose being Salem out the window. Throw them away. Delete all the Reddits. They are dead now. That is not a possibility. I think that was another question that I thought Rwby was gonna ask. Was what happened to Summer Rose? That was another question. I think she might still ask it. Maybe if the greed takes her over, but that would kind of go against the pure-heartedness thing, wouldn't it? But whatever. This is crazy. This is insane. We finally get to learn something new. Okay, so my thoughts are they're gonna pull the whole I was once a very pure soul like Rwby, and then it was one bad day. One bad day turned me crazy. That's my thought. And I feel like Ozpin's gonna be the one that started that one bad day. Ozpin is the reason the one bad day happened. the one to turn her into Salem. I assume either she is one of the maidens and then was like killed and reborn or something, or she's supposed to be like an allegory for Rwby, turning bad. That's what I thought, because she looks like a very pure girl like Rwby. But I don't know. Could be whatever. Could be something totally unexpected. I really do feel it's gonna be a good pure girl turned evil, and then Rwby's gonna like meld with that, but Rwby's gonna be like, I was just like you, and I can overcome it, and I don't know why you can't. I'm a good person at heart. I'm an amazing person. And then she's like, no, all good people can rot. Some Joker ass shit from Killing Joke. I could totally see it. But yeah, that was Rwby episode 2. It was a crazy ride. I loved it. We found out more stuff than we ever found out before. Not much action, obviously, but super interesting. Crazy interesting. I didn't like the moment with Crow, but I understand it. But crazy episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and go to my Twitter for more information, or if you just want to see me in my daily life or whatever. See you guys next time.